Hi and welcome to Kate Space. Welcome back to How Boho Can You Go with RachandBella Crafts and my Boho journal. A few people have asked for me to continue showing how I would finish this journal, and so that's what I'm going to do. Obviously I'm not going to do all of it because it would be quite boring for you guys. Hopefully you've seen the tag that I made to go in here, and also the little extra that slips in the back of the pocket and how this opens up. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link that video, and I'll also link making this cover. One of the things I don't love about gluing fabrics onto a cover is how sometimes the glue seeps through, and I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can. And I don't love it, so I'm going to probably put this sequin braid over the top of that just to hide those blobs of glue, and I think that will look nice and shiny and it will look good. So that's what I am planning to do. Now the other day, or yesterday actually, I sat down and had a lovely little FaceTime session with a friend. She was crafting and so was I, and we were chatting and having a catch up. And while I was doing that, I went through all my sort of sari silk trims and I made these ruffles. Now these are hand sewn because I want to sew these on. I'm a bit nervous about sewing them on, but I'm going to do it anyway. So the first ones I'm going to do are the pink, the ones with pink, sort of on the pink papers, and I'm going to try and sew all those on first, and then try and remember what order all these pages went in. And so this is kind of starting to bulk up. I'm going to make it quite with lots of trims and tabs sticking out the side. So that's the plan. I've pretty much settled on the pages that are in here, and so yeah, it's just really a matter of decorating it now and getting it to the point where it's finished. So I'm going to go away and sew those things, and then when that's done I'll come back. I'm aware that it's really dark. It's just such an incredibly stormy day today, but I just really wanted to get on with this, and I did promise that I would do as much on video as I can. So I'll go away and sew, and yeah, wish me luck. Hopefully it will go okay, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have glued this piece of trim on around there, and I think that looks better. And I've been to my sewing machine and I've done some stitching. So now we've got this lovely sort of jewelly coloured prettiness going on here. So I've put some tabs on. I haven't sewn all the tabs. I've sewn around this one, and I used the pink thread and a zigzag for that, and I used pink for this one. Now I folded this out and sewed it on so that this could either be made into a pocket or it could be opened out to hide that stitching on the other side. And then I was like, oh, I don't know what thread to use because I didn't have any sort of this right color, and I remembered I had some gold thread I'd found at a thrift store, and I'd used a bit of that in my Christmas journal, so I decided I'd experiment a bit with that. So this one zigzagged on with some gold thread. I mean, the thing with stitching it on is does mean you have stitching on the other side of your page, so if that's not something that you like, then you're better off maybe stitching your ruffles and gluing them on. This time I just wanted to do some stitching. I used to do a lot of it and I haven't done much for a while. So this tab is glued on. This one's got a bit of stitching just up there, and it's got gold all the way around. This one's got the gold as well. That tab is stitched on. This is, I use a dark sort of tealy colour to stitch that one on. And yeah, so we're getting there. with the ruffles. I think that's probably my lot. And yeah, so again, you have got the stitching on the opposite side. If you don't like that, then you can cover it up with another ruffle or a pocket or anything. So yep, there is that one, and that one there, and that's on the other side. So I'm wondering about something with this. So I've got things sort of paper clipped around. I'm thinking I'd like to do a pocket on, which page is it? Of course I can't find it now. This one. This book page. I thought I maybe would do a lace pocket here to cover up this printing on here. I love this image. I'm so glad that I've included that. So if I put a pocket here, something can be tucked in, or there can be writing on that side as well. And the other thing I want to do is some texture paste stenciling, so that's what I'm going to do as well. So I'm just going to go and find some lace, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found this purple lace, and I'm going to glue this onto here around all the edges, and I'm not sure what I would put in there, but I like it, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use just some of this white sort of fabric glue, and just go down this bit here. Give it time to dry. This fabric glue I use does seem to take a while to grab, but once it's grabbed, it's pretty good. Right, and then along the bottom, the side here. And then trim it. Sorry, you probably couldn't see. I would rip it, but a little bit more up here to grab onto. I was going to put some tracing paper behind it, but I was finding that difficult, so I've just decided to put my lace on as is. Right, now I want to do a little bit of texture paste, so I need to find myself a stencil, and then I'll be right back. So first I'm just going to do a little bit of practice run on some book page, because I want to see what some of these look like. I don't think I've used this one before, so I'm going to see if I like the look of this. I'm using modelling paste Art Basics. This is quite good because I like it because it dries really fast. But as you can see, my jar is pretty manky. Probably needs a bit of a mix up too, to be honest. But anyway, let's just have a little play. I think it's got a few lumps in it. Yeah, I don't know why that's... It's not spreading particularly well, but anyway, that's why we do practice runs. Yeah, so it's gone snuck underneath there a little bit, so it's not perfect, but it's quite a cool shape. I really like it. So let's see where I might like that. I was kind of thinking on here. I mean, I'll keep that, I won't throw it away. So let's see how we go. Just give this a bit of a mix. It's dried out a little bit, I think. So we've got this issue here that's going to lift the stencil up, so I'm just going to have to be really, hold it down really firmly if I can, so we don't get it sneaking underneath. Let's just see how we go. Oh, it's always a bit scary doing this because you can't really change your mind. You're kind of committed. Let's see what we've ended up with here. Okay. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see if we can get that bit off and that bit off. Okay. A little bit lumpy. We'll do another one over here and try and get it do a better job. And this is the problem with trying to do texture based is what I find is getting it dry, and then it's a long process if you're doing it in a journal that's already made. I've put some down here, which is going to be a problem. Okay, let's just lift this up and get that off. Definitely an easier thing to do when you're not on camera. For some reason this bit at the side has gone a bit blobby. I don't know if that's me or if it's the stencil, but anyway, I'm going to put that piece aside. I missed a sink in my studio because I don't have any water to wash everything with, so I'm just going to use some wet wipes to give everything a wipe. I might need to go and get a bowl of water, I think, to put these in so they don't get ruined. So you can see how fast that dries on the stencil. You can see it already. I don't know actually if you can see it, but already dried on the plastic there, which is good because which means it dries quick. But you can't muck around. These are pretty cheap stencils that I bought. Actually, more for when I tea dye my papers. Alright, so that's that one. I like the pattern, I'm just not sure about my ability to do the stenciling, but that's okay. Right, what else could we stencil? Was I thinking would look good? We've got more pink. I do like it on the pink. I was actually wondering about on here. And also on this brown paper. I think it's in the middle. Quite like the idea of having it on here, so let's give it a go. How's our pocket? Yep, it's looking good. To make sure I don't get it all over the journal. See if we can get this one to work a bit better. You can see this one is well used. One of my favourite stencils, this one, it always looks good. So that's cool, I like that. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit more and then I'll be back. Okay, while those are drying, I thought I'd do this. I had this pinned here, oops, because I fussy cut this out of Rachel's digital, and I'm going to just make a little collage on this page. Just turn my heater off. Hopefully that hasn't been too noisy for you, but it is a cold day here. I'm just going to ink it a little bit, just to define the edges a bit. I think it was Suzanne from Nonstop Papercrafts who fussy cut this little image out, and I really liked how it looked, so I thought, well, that's a good idea. And I love my doilies, so I'm just going to have that like that. That can wrap around. Just for glue at this stage, I'll do just the gluing in the middle here. So a bit of a difficult one to glue with all the holes. This is going to reinforce this sort of edge of this very old paper as well. So that was my thoughts. How high do I want it? I think I sort of want it there. Okay. And then I'll use glitter glue around the sort of edges to hold those down. And then I think soon I will stitch these pages into the spine, and then any decorating I do will be with the pages glued in. Stitched in, not glued in. Yeah, so that will be good. Yeah, I like that. And then this will sit like that on top. I think that's pretty. I'll just use my glue stick to glue this one down. Yeah, I love this flower. I think it's really pretty, so there we go. That just adds a bit of decoration to that page. Try and leave as many sort of undecorated pages, because normally my journals are bought by people who want to decorate and write and draw in them themselves. They want to make the journal something that looks like they've done art in. Oh, my glue has exploded. Oh my gosh. The struggle is real. There we go. Why it does that, I still don't know. There'll be a scientific reason. My glue bottle is a disgrace, I know that. But I just want to keep these little edges. Put the pin in so it doesn't explode again. All right, yeah, that's pretty. I think that looks nice. And then I just need to decide what I'm going to do over this side. I'm not going to glue that down yet because I might do a little bit of a collage there. And then we've got this pocket here. And then I think I was going to make this into a pocket. I've just taken a part of one of the digitals that I had left over and I folded it. This is on just photocopy paper. So what I'm going to do is snip these corners here. And then these ones as well. That will just reinforce it, and I'm going to glue that on there, I think. Just check that it's straight. 10.5. It's maybe a millimetre out, but I almost feel like it needs something else on it, but I'll leave it like that for now, and I can always add something to it. So I'm going to glue Esty. I'm going to glue the top down. And then I'm going to glue the pocket into the journal. So glue down these sides. Oop. And along the bottom. And down that side. and attach it to our page. I don't think it's dead straight, but that would not be unusual for me, would it? Okay, I think that went there, did it? Nope. Oh, I've done it. Done it upside down. Never mind, that's where it's going now. I might have to actually change some of these pages around because I've taken them in and out of the journal so many times I can't even remember where I used to have them. Now let's just see what's going on with our texture paste. It's pretty dry. So this one can go back in. I think that one was here. Yeah, I think that's nice. I don't know, yeah, again, I don't know whether to make that into a pocket. I think I might leave that for whoever to decide. And then this one is here, I think. This is our very old page. And again, I don't know if I want to make this a tuck at this point. And then we have our envelope, which is going in the center, like that. Yeah. So I might rearrange my pages. Might have a play around with those. I was going to put this here, but I'm not sure whether I like it next to this page. So I have to decide about whether I'm going to pop it here, and then something will go in here. But I was actually thinking I'd quite like one of these girls to go in here. I really like her, so I might make a journal card out of her, and I'll probably make one out of her since I've printed it out on this beautiful paper. So that's the next job. Decide whether we're going to use this or not. Again, we've got the same problem if we put it there. So the other option is have this as our first page and use this one somewhere else. In which case, I think that would actually look really nice. So this page could possibly go in here instead. And that still works for me, I think. We're getting quite bulky, but that's because of all this fabric and things. So yeah, I think I'm going to sew these pages in. I just need to go through and check I've got them how I want them and that I don't want to add anything else. And then I will be sewing them into my cover, which is always, it's not my favorite thing, not my favorite part of the process, but once they're in, I'm always totally stoked with them being in. So yeah, right, I will be back very soon. I've been through all the pages and I think I've settled on how I want them. I've actually put another one in, so let's just have a quick flip through and then that will be the end of the video and I'll sew these in. I don't know whether, yeah, I guess I will sew them in on camera so you can see that process as well. Then there'll be some more ephemera to make and some decorating and then we'll call it done. So I've decided this is going to be my front page. There'll be something pretty tucked in here, or a few things. I don't know if I'll do anything else with this page, possibly a flip, I'm not sure. So something maybe that just sort of flips out like that. Though there is a tuck on this side, but I don't think that matters. Anyway, we can work on that. So these are the pages that I've settled on. I found this in my Girls Own paper from like 1887, and I just love this image. So I wanted to put that in. I wanted to strengthen it, so I've put some pianola roll music paper on the other side, but I also wanted to keep this, so I've sort of torn it so that I could see this, because that's just so pretty. Didn't want to cover it up. Our lined paper, and then either our flip out or our pocket, our music manuscript, some blue dyed paper, something from the kit with the lines on this back, the scrapbooking paper, more lined paper with this, so this is from the kit, some tea dyed or coffee dyed lined paper, this vintage, very old vintage brown paper, another piece of paper but from a different kit that I've slipped in, which is also from Rachel's, and that's got some ruby and pearl background paper on the back. Our pocket made from paper from the kit. This is from the kit, some more dyed paper with this pattern on it. I don't know if you can see that. There's our little doily and fussy cut on this old piano paper, and then there's still something to be done on this side. Some grid paper, avocado dyed, this beautiful book page which I love, and our lace pocket on this side. And here's our envelope, which will be sewn in and then closed, and I've done some texture paste on that. I love how that looks, and I think I'll put something along here. The other book page with this beautiful image, also from Girls Own paper from 1887. More grids than my wonky stitching. Music, and yeah, so this is all the other side of the same papers there. This is beautiful, and yeah, so that's what I've settled on. I don't think I'm going to put any more ruffles on that I know. I certainly won't be stitching any more on. Maybe some more tabs, because we're a bit short of tabs at the side. So yeah, I think maybe more tabs on this side. So this is the other side of that Girls Own paper I've put in, and there's the lyrics on the pianola roll, and I didn't want to lose that, but it was too wide. It was coming out over the cover, so I've folded it like that. So that needs some, maybe a little bit more work, and that's the song, the New Year's song that goes with the image. But that can be covered up or whatever. And then there's the other side of that, and then I think I am going to put that there, but I'm going to put something behind it. I may put some, no I won't, my finger's very gluey. Okay, so there we go, that's where we're at with it so far. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the process, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye.